Hare पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव की जय। गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
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 जय चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद।
जय चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद।
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद।
जय चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
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 जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद।
जय चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
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 जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद।
जय चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद।
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्री गौरांग महाप्रभु की जय। This bhajan, here Bhakti Vinod Thakur tells in this beautiful prayers that he is doing to Lord Chaitanya, that how associates of Lord Chaitanya early in the morning, every morning, went outside throughout the village and requested the sleeping souls, not just physically sleeping, but also ignorant. Requested the sleeping souls, Jeev Jago, Gora Chandra. Bhakti Vinod Thakur very beautifully explains that how Bhojibo Boliya Eshe Sansara Vitare. When the child is in the womb of the mother and the child continuously suffers in the womb, at that time he constantly prays to the Lord that please get me out of this hell somehow or other. And when I come out, I will take your holy names. I will associate with the devotees. Because mother's womb is as good as hell. It's too much of suffering over there. And Srimad Bhagavatam explains that there are constant prayers that the child, the living entity does in the womb of the mother to the Lord to somehow take out the child out of the womb of the mother, because it is suffocated over there. Some worms constantly bite the child. And with the bite of those worms, Bhagavatam explains, time and again the child falls unconscious. And again when it wakes up, again the worm starts biting. And again it falls unconscious. In the middle of that, just once, the Vishnu in the form of Paramatma gives the darshan within the womb of the mother to the child and disappears immediately. And the child starts praying to the Vishnu, please somehow take me out of this hell. And when I come outside, I will chant your holy names. When I come outside, I will associate with your devotees. When I come outside, I will make it sure that I don't have to enter the womb again. These are the prayers of the child that are explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. But as soon as the child comes out, Bhuliya rohile tumi avidya starts. The effect of Maya, he forgets the pain that he had undergone in the womb of the mother, and hence he has to again enter in the womb of the mother. This bhajan is very significant, given by Big Bhakti Vinod Thakur. It tells us the reality. In line with Srimad Bhagavatam, someone may say, I don't believe that Srimad Bhagavatam, if Srimad Bhagavatam is saying that the child suffers in the womb of the mother, I don't believe that. Someone may say, I don't believe that the worms bite inside. I don't believe that child falls unconscious inside. I don't believe that Vishnu gives his darshan. I don't believe that the child constantly prays after that, somehow take me out and I will make sure I don't have to enter in the womb again. Someone may say, I don't believe. But there are 10 other instances in the Srimad Bhagavatam that are true. That are absolutely true. So when those 10 other instances are true, Srimad Bhagavatam says, with the same context of the birth of the child, Srimad Bhagavatam tells how the development of the child takes place in the first trimester, how the development of the child takes place in the womb of the mother in the second trimester, how the same development takes place in the third trimester, and that the medical science accepts as it is. So when that is true, then this is also true. The child prays in the womb of the mother, please somehow take me out. We should be convinced. It's not that we can check every nook and corner of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are many places where there are proper explanations of, and we have seen those explanations coming true. So other explanations which are beyond beyond what we can conceive. There are other concepts that we cannot conceive. Is it all right? That doesn't mean they are not true. So this is very significant line. Bhajibo boliya eshe sansara bitare bhuliya rohilo tumi avidyara. I forget you out of avidya when I take birth. Again, Swarup Damodar Goswami glorifies Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in one of his prayers. He says, you rose as a rising moon to give the light in the age of Kali. Do you know Kali Yuga has not yet started? How many know that? It has not yet started fully. It is Sandhya going on. You know what is Sandhya? The intersection period between the Dwapar Yuga and the Kali Yuga. The intersection period is 10,000 years. Intersection periods means that the period in which the Dwapar constantly diminishes and the Kali Yuga is rising now. Whenever yugas change from one yuga to another, like Satyug ends and Treta starts. So there is a Sandhya in between, the intersection time. Like between day and night there is Sandhya, the intersection time. There is neither night, neither day, nor day, right? It's dawn and dusk that we call it in English. Everyone is comfortable in English? Okay. So the intersection period, the dawn and dusk, so when the one yuga ends, the other yuga starts. There is an intersection period in between. in which one effects of one yug starts diminishing and effect of other yug starts rising. It's not Kali Yuga right now. It's the intersection Sandhya going on. It will continue for another 9500 years, then Kali Yuga will come. See what is the situation now. In the intersection period, such bad situation. Some people come and tell, Prabhuji, just to do business, I have to order, I have to offer the bottles of liquor. I have to offer girls. I have to do this, I have to do that. This is the situation when the Sandhya is going on. But what will happen when the Kali Yuga will actually start? The effects of Dwapar will be totally over. So, Swarup Damodar Goswami, in one of his prayers, he glorifies Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says that you rose as a rising moon to give light in the age of Kali. You rose as a rising moon. When the Kali Yuga ends, there are three things that we have as our protection right now. Only three things that we have as our protection. One is Govardhan, other is Yamuna, and third is Brajraj. Three things we have. The dust of Braj. Three things we have as our protection. But as the Kali Yuga succeeds further, and these 10,000 years are over, Govardhan will diminish. Govardhan is not the size that we are seeing currently. When Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami used to do parikrama of Govardhan, it was 40 kilometers. The radius, diameter. The diameter was 40 kilometers. Now how much is the diameter of Govardhan? 22. No, it's not Govardhan 22. It is, Govardhan is 14. 8 kilometers is Radha Kund. Govardhan 40 to 14 it has reached. From 40 kilometers to 14 kilometers. So as the Kali Yuga succeeds, this diameter will constantly reduce. And it will end. Yamuna will also diminish. Like Saraswati has diminished, Yamuna will also diminish. No one will be able to see Yamuna. Only the fields could be seen where Yamuna once used to flow. So Yamuna will also not be there. The Govardhan will also not be there. What will be there to the refuge is only the Braj after these 10,000 years are over. Only the dust of Vrindavan will be available, nothing else. And that will be Gaur Kali Yuga. Gaur Kali Yuga is described in our scriptures, a situation when as soon as the child is born, the mother will kill the child and eat it. That's what Gaur Kali Yuga will. This will happen when exact Kali Yuga will start. So, Swarup Damodar Goswami glorifies Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Says, you rose as a rising moon to give the light in the age of Kali. He says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the incarnation, the magnificent, magnanimous incarnation came and gave which no other incarnation could give. No other incarnation. And he gave the opportunity to go back to Godhead without considering who is fit, who is unfit. Ayush Prabhu, can you stand up? Without considering who is fit and who is unfit, he gives this opportunity to us. We may not realize this as of now because we are not realized souls. You can open Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 22nd chapter, 107th shloka. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 27th chapter, 22nd chapter, 107th shloka. It says, just 1 second. This translation is, what does it say? This Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhaya Kabhunaya. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabhunaya.
Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhaya Kabhunaya.
Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Udaya.
Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Udaya.
Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhayaka Bhunaya.
Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhayaka Bhunaya.
Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Udaya.
Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Udaya.
Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhayaka Bhunaya.
Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhayaka Bhunaya.
Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Udaya.
Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Udaya.
The translation says, pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the heart of the living entities. It is eternally established in the heart of the living entities. It is established in your heart. It is established in my heart. It is established in everyone's heart, even in a materialist's heart. This pure love of Krishna is eternally established. It is just that it is not manifested. It's not showing up. It is not that something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love naturally awakens. What is the use of chanting? It tells. This shloka, this verse in itself, establishes a very important principle that we have the love for Krishna in our heart since the time immemorial, and it will continue for the time immemorial. This love is there and it will continue forever. It is just that it is not manifested. It is covered. It is covered. It is covered by what? Lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. It is covered. But when the heart is purified, how the heart is purified is telling by hearing and chanting. This is how heart is purified. Shravanadi. Hearing the Mahamantra, hearing the book Bhagavat, person Bhagavat. This love for Krishna, which is established in the heart, but which is covered, but by chanting, when this dust is removed, then it is manifested. The Krishna Prema is manifested. From the highest perspective, any amount of material prosperity, we have understood that we are eternally the servants of Krishna. From this shloka it is clear. We eternally love them, love Krishna. The eternal love is there in our heart, but it is covered. From this perspective, if we understand, if we try to understand, any amount of material prosperity, attainment of yogic powers, or even the liberation, even liberation is not our constitutional position. It's clear from this shloka. Any amount of material prosperity you gain, you get a son, you get a daughter, you get money, you get bungalows, you get farmhouses, you get this, you get that. Whatever material prosperity you gain, or by Tantra Vidya you get the yogic siddhis, or you get even liberation, the impersonal Brahman, where you enter and you don't have to forcefully come back. This shloka is clear. All these are not our constitutional position. Our constitutional position is that there is a constant love since time immemorial for Krishna in our hearts. But it is covered. So you will continue in the cycle of birth and death till it is covered. To enjoy or to suffer in this material world is not our constitutional position. To enjoy or to suffer. Actually, there is no enjoyment. We just think that there is enjoyment. Ultimately, every enjoyment leads to suffering in this material world. even the sex life. It may look like for some time there is enjoyment. But what happens ultimately? Someone is engaged with too many partners. What will happen? Suffering will come. And in itself, it cannot give satisfaction to anyone. It just cannot give satisfaction. So to enjoy and to suffer in this material world, it is like this only. You try to enjoy, ultimately you will suffer. Ultimately, suffering will come. This is not our constitutional position. Lochan Das Thakur was disciple of Narhari Sarkar. We talk in we sing in Sandhya Arati. Nara Hari Adi Kare Chavara Dolai. So Narhari Sarkar, what was his service to Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Narahari Adhikari Chavara Dolai. Narhari Sarkar used to do chavar to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. This was his service. So Lochan Das Thakur, who is disciple of Narhari Sarkar, he has written a very beautiful bhajan where he says, Parama Karuna Pahudoi Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Parama Karuna. This Nitai Gaura Chandra is bestowing the Parama Karuna on all the living entities. The devotees who were present in yesterday's evening Sankirtan, they could visibly see that how this Nitai Gaurachandra was giving Param Karuna to everyone who was coming. It was madness all around yesterday. A constant madness. People were dancing like mad people, like madman. Just they were seated on one seat and this was happening. Even if a movie song is played on the road over there, people will not like the madness was happening over there. This is Parama Karuna, Pahudui Jana, Nitai Gaura Chandra. Sava Avatara Sara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda. Sava Avatara Sar Shiromani. He is the essence of all incarnations. Who is the essence of all incarnations? Sava Avatara Sara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda. It gives only pleasure. Only pleasure. So much of satisfaction. I spoke to devotees around after the Nagar Sankirtan was over. After that market area Sankirtan was over. Everyone was saying, feeling so satisfied. I'm feeling so satisfied. How many felt that satisfaction in that Kirtan when this Gaur and Nitai deities were present in front of us? And such a sound sleep yesterday night after that. No tensions, no worries of this material world. If you chant the names of the Lord to the people around, you are giving them the way to be satisfied. In turn, Krishna will give satisfaction to you. Sava Avatar Sara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda. It gives only pleasure, nothing else. So once, Srila Prabhupada said, the process is very simple. So some devotees were sitting around. So Prabhupada said, the process is very simple. Just follow Prabhupada just said, just chant and dance. The process is very simple. Just this much. Someone asked, what is the process? Process is very simple. Just chant and dance. That's what Prabhupada said. So, devotees around got confused. The process is very simple. What are you talking, Prabhupada? The 4 regulative principles. They are very difficult to follow. We go out for preaching. Someone appreciates, someone criticizes, Sometimes police catches and we are sent behind the bars. Sometimes police beat. A lot has happened with devotees in countries like Russia, Australia. A lot has happened. We are at very comfortable position. No one says anything. Yesterday we had blocked the parking area practically. I think one or two people came badly honking their cars. We gave them way. Rest no one interrupted. It's not that someone came honking the car and then also we should continue. We got aside. We gave them the way. They left. But there were many who stopped coming from that area, from that side, thinking that Harinam is going on. We should not disturb. We are at a very comfortable position. But what about the Western countries? In the Western countries, when devotees, there is a complete series on this salted bread. You can see what was done with the Russian devotees, the atrocities that they had to undergo. It was very difficult. I had met one of the devotees in Vrindavan, a Russian devotee. He told me, I was having prasad in Govindas. So there was shortage of seats over there. So he came and sat in front of me. So I found him to be Russian, but he was well versed in English also. So I started speaking to him that what atrocities the devotees had to face over there. So he started telling that I have seen the situations. Just check out how painful it is. Devotees were caught distributing the books in a hidden manner. What these devotees were doing? Were they creating some revolution against the government? No. They were not creating some revolution. They were just telling the people, please leave meat eating. Please leave intoxication. It will harm your body. Please leave gambling. When meat eating is done, what kind of pain the animal has to undergo. In that painful situation, by eating a painful body, we think we will be happy and we will be able to bring good muscles out. Internally, there will be a high quality dissatisfaction. The pain that the bird had to undergo, that cow had to undergo. With the flesh will have that experience of that pain. And when that flesh enters your body, it cannot give satisfaction. It will just give pain. It's just a matter of time. So what these devotees were doing? They were just distributing Prabhupada books. What's there in Prabhupada books? Is there any political discussion? No. What's there? Leave meat eating. Leave intoxication. Leave gambling. Live illicit sex. And be happy. Chant and be happy. Eat prasadam. As far as prasadam is concerned, as much as sense gratification devotees do, even the materialist cannot do. So much of prasadam we eat. And variety of it. Chappan bhog. You understand? So, Prabhupada says the process is simple. Simply chant and dance. But devotees were very apprehensive. They said, simply chant and dance, Prabhupada? They are following 4 regulative principles. The mind agitates a lot. Sometimes we are sent in jail. We are beaten up. So this devotee, when I was conversing with this Russian devotee, what claims they had to undergo? They were caught. They were thrown in the jail. And this devotee, personally, he was in jail for some time. And he saw in his front, the front chamber of the jail. What did he see? One devotee was forced by the policeman. A bottle was kept with its neck open. And his pants were removed. And he was forced to sit on it. So that bottle enters the hole. And he feels very bad pain. Such kind of pain these Russians have faced. We have got these names very easily and we take it lightly. So when Prabhupada says simply chant and dance, so devotees said, 4 regulative principles, Prabhupada, sometimes we are in jail, sometimes. Then the third issue is living with devotees. Sometimes we face difficulties. There are issues, there are fights. Prabhupada was speaking in a self-realized manner. Prabhupada was speaking in a self-realized manner. The process is simple. Simply chant and dance. We are not realized to understand this. We see problems around. But what is the solution? That also Chaitanya Charitamrita tells. You understand what I'm saying? Prabhupada is talking in a realized manner. The process is simple. We are not realized. We see issues. We complain. How can we be realized to that extent that we get convinced that the simply chant and dance? How can we be convinced? So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita that is explained. You can take out Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 17th chapter. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 17th chapter, 186th verse. How can we be convinced? Is there a purport to this? Okay. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 17th chapter. Do you understand what question this verse is going to answer? What question this verse is going to answer? Who will tell me? What question this verse is going to answer? Only one devotee can tell. What question this verse can answer? I've just told you. The question that is coming up is, Prabhupada spoke, the process is simple, simply chant and dance. And Prabhupada is speaking this because he is realized. He's a realized soul. He has direct relationship. For us, we see issues. How can we be realized to that extent that we don't see issues and we also be convinced that the process is simple? Simply chant and dance. How can we? This is the answer given in this verse. Tarko pratishtha shruyat shrutayo vibhinna nasha vrishiryasya matam na bhinam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gata sapantaha tarko pratishtha shrutayo vibhinna nasavarshir matam na bhinna dharmasya tattvam nihitam guyam mahajano yena gata sapantaha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. So who is speaking this verse? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dry arguments are inconclusive. That means impersonalist arguments are inconclusive. There is no conclusion to it. A great personality whose opinion doesn't differ from others is not considered a great sage. Simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. Simply by reading. Simply we think we'll read and we'll memorize hundreds of shlokas and we will advance. Never ever you will get this realization that the process is simply chant and dance. Simply by studying Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which the religious principles are understood. The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of unadulterated, self-realized person. From where will you get the realization? From the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as Shastras confirm, one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajans advocate. How to become self-realized? How to be convinced that the process is simple, simply chant and dance. How to be convinced? As Prabhupada says in one of his lectures, seen through the eyes of a self-realized person. If you don't have faith on someone else's faith. If you see the conduct of that person to be good, have faith on someone else's faith. If you don't have personally faith. That is the mantra given in this verse. Otherwise, if we think by reading we can satisfy ourselves, reading has to be done definitely. It's supportive to bhakti. But actually, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. Divya Gyan will come in the heart. There is a direct heart-to-heart transfer from the spiritual master. It will come like that. If we want to be realized that it is a simple process of chanting, dancing, and there are no issues around. No issues around means there is no difficulty in following the four regulative principles. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me to follow the four regulative principles. I can follow easily. Like a cakewalk. Even if some devotees comes and say something, can I please request you to not to yawn for some time? If a devotee comes and says something, how can we maintain that humility when we are not self-realized souls? So taking the shelter from a self-realized soul is the mantra. That is the only mantra. Otherwise, this hankering, lamenting, acceptance, rejection, this all will continue. This will continue throughout the life. Till the time you will leave the body, it will continue. Always looking for excuses to not to surrender. It will continue like this, like it is happening today. It will continue forever. Always just looking for excuses to not to surrender. And Maya Devi, when you have excuses, Maya Devi can show you limitless ways. Limitless ways. Okay, let me do it just for today. This is the last time I'm enjoying this. After this, no enjoyment. To how many people this thought has come? Let me enjoy this once today, last time. I'll not do this again in life. But again, next day, the same thought comes again. The same thought of sense gratification comes again. The same thought comes again. Okay, let this be the last time. After this, no. Okay, today is Ekadashi. Tomorrow is Ekadashi. Today is the last day. Tomorrow onwards, no sense gratification. As soon as the Ekadashi passes, wohi ghoda, wohi maidan. Again, the same thing starts. Therefore, taking the shelter of the self-realized souls, that is the solution. There is no other solution. In the Kali Santarna Upanishad, Upanishad says, someone may ask, I am telling you the name of the Upanishad, Kali Santarna Upanishad. The 16 words and 32 syllable Mahamantra, it is the only medicine, this word is used in this Upanishad. It is the only medicine to cure the anarthas. There is no other medicine made. And for taking this medicine, there is a prescription. For taking a medicine, you have to have a prescription from a doctor. For taking this medicine, there is a prescription. The prescription is Pranadapi Sunichena Tarodapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. There are 3 conditions given in the prescription. If you want to chant, Trinadapi Sunichena, humble than a blade of the grass. Anyone may walk on you, cannot answer back. That doesn't mean you have to get exploited in offices, in outside dealings. Office mein to you have to keep your stand that these are my working hours. I'm not going to work more than this. Trinadapi sunichena. Next is Tarorapi Sahishnu. As tolerant as a tree. Winter, summer, whatever is their season, the tree stands. If you are not tolerant now, you will be made a tree in the next life, and you will be made to learn in that species that how to be tolerant. This is what His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj tells in one of his lectures. In a very grave manner, he speaks. What does he speak? If you are not tolerant now, like a tree, then in the upcoming lives, you will be made tolerant. You will be sent to the species of tree to understand how to become tolerant. Prinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna. What is the third condition? Amanina manadena. Amanina manadena. Giving respect to everyone, but not expecting respect from anyone. It's not that this person is my counselor, I will listen to him only. I will not respect anyone else in the world. This is a very wrong conception that comes in the heart of the devotees. We should offer respect to each and every devotee around, whether they are senior, whether they are equals, or whether they are juniors. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena. 3 conditions fulfilled. Kirtaniya sadahari. Then chanting will happen. This is the prescription. So this Kali Santarana Upanishad says that the 16 word Mahamantra and the 32 syllable, 16 word and 32 syllable. What are 16 words? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 16 word. What are the 32 syllables? Hare. Like that, 32 syllables are. This is the only medicine. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the prescription to consume this medicine. As Prabhupada said in one of his lectures, just be sincere. Just be sincere. In a very convinced manner, Prabhupada is saying. And he explains what is the meaning of being sincere. The meaning of being sincere in the devotion is to not to have duplicity, not to have ulterior motives. Then Prabhupada further explains in that lecture. Just be sincere, as Srila Prabhupada says. He says not to have ulterior motives. That is one of the meanings of being sincere. One more thing Prabhupada says, adds on to it in that lecture. He says, sincerity means to be humble enough to admit at least to one person in your life that yes, Prabhu, or yes, Maharaj, I have such and such ulterior motives. Leave your image consciousness. This is what Prabhupada says. If you want to progress, if you try to hide your ulterior motives, thinking that my image will be spoiled, never ever spiritual progress will happen. That's what Prabhupada explains. Just be sincere. What is the meaning of sincerity? A few examples Prabhupada has given. A few points Prabhupada has given. Not to have duplicity. Not to have ulterior motive. And if there are ulterior motives, then there should be some person to whom you tell that. That person definitely should be a senior or a guru level personality. Then he will give you the way outs. Image consciousness cannot help you in progress on the spiritual path. Then Prabhupada said in the same lecture, another criteria is simplicity. How simple a devotee should be. We understand from Vidura. He was blasphemed. Dhritarashtra always insulted him. Duryodhan always insulted him. Only Pandavas respected him. Everyone else, he was the, what do you say, Mahamantri in the Sabha. But he was insulted very badly, always. But still, when the time came, he assisted Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. We all know that from Srimad Bhagavatam. He assisted same Dhritarashtra who had throughout life insulted him. But at the end, this is simplicity of a devotee. We understand what is simplicity from Ambarisha Maharaj. Durvasa Muni was unnecessary creating a rakas. Unnecessary. He intentionally did not come back after taking bath. He took long time, intentionally, knowing that it is a Dwadashi day and the Ambarish Maharaj has to break his fast. He intentionally did not come back to Ambarish Maharaj for taking prasadam. And Ambarish Maharaj had to break his fast. The paran time was about to over. So he just took some water with the permission of some sages. And Durvasa Muni, what did he do? He invoked Rakshas. The name of the Rakshas was Kritya. He invoked the Rakshas to kill Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj simply folded his hands and started focusing on Vishnu. Immediately, Sudarshan came. And the Sudarshan killed the Kritya. And then Sudarshan went after Durvasa Muni to kill Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni went to Lord Shiva. He could not protect. He went to Lord Brahma. He could not protect. Finally, he went to Vishnu. Vishnu also could not protect. Said, Sudarshan will not stop with my words. Go back to Ambarish. Durvasa Muni, the same Durvasa Muni who had such ill intentions in the heart to kill Ambarish Maharaj, create so much of ruckus. The same Durvasa Muni, he begged forgiveness from Ambarish Maharaj. And it is not that Ambarish Maharaj threw some tantrums on him then. अभी नहीं बाद में आना, अभी जाओ, अभी थोड़ा इसको आगे आगे भागो, इसको पीछे पीछे भागना, थोड़ा हम होंगे ना वैसे बोलेंगे, हमें मन में तो थोड़ा होगा चलो यार छोड़ देंगे, क्यों जान क्यों लेंगे, ऐसा तो फिर भी होगा मन, पर थोड़ा ऐसे लगेगा थोड़ा तो तंग करें इसको, क्या किया इसने मेरे साथ, जाओ अभी थोड़ा भाग कर आओ, थोड़ा पीछा करने दो इसको तुम्हारा, थोड़ी देर बाद आना, अभी बिजी हूं. If Ambarish Maharaj had this kind of attitude, at first place Sudarshan would have never come. Vishnu wouldn't have sent Sudarshan only. You understand? This is the simplicity of Ambarish. Immediately he forgave. And Sudarshan went back. What is simplicity? We understand from Prahlad Maharaj. When the father asked Prahlad Maharaj, "Oh my son, what did you learn in the Gurukul?" What did you learn in Gurukul? He could have simply said, just to save himself, he could have simply said, in the heart there is devotion. He could have simply said, I learned economics. And everything would have been goody-goody. He would have been given absolute protection by the father. He would have enjoyed the kingdom like a cakewalk. The father would have pampered him a lot, with a lot of gifts, with a lot of toys, with everything. What did Prahlad Maharaj said? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. That's what Prahlad Maharaj said. Was Prahlad Maharaj complex in doing that? No, it was simple. He was showing up his simplicity. So we should be simple like him. Without thinking of harms and gains that we may face, we should be ready to uphold Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is my life and soul. Any questions?
प्रभुजी आपने जैसे बताया कि अपने काउंसलर को सुनना सिर्फ एक अच्छी मेंटालिटी नहीं है, हमें बाकी डिवोटीज को भी लिसन करना चाहिए, रिस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए. प्रभु जी अब जैसे काउंसलर्स हमें पर्सनली जानते होते हैं, मतलब डिवोटीज के भी काउंसलर्स उनको शेड्यूल वगैरह जानते हैं.
Where as far as personal discussions are concerned, we can talk to counselor because everyone will not know your nature. But as far as listening to the classes is concerned, some good devotees giving the class, you say, where is the problem?
जैसे कोई सर्विस देते हैं कोई डिवोटी तो
Yes, services again, you see who's the authority of yours in services. And if someone else also gives service, if it is doable, do it. If it is not manageable, then you can say, sorry, bro, it is difficult for me. If it is doable, do it. Why to avoid the service?
मतलब मुझे रिस्पेक्टेबल मैनर में मना कैसे करें, मतलब उसको बुरा भी ना लगे सामने वाले को. और
You can simply tell that I'm busy in so and so thing. It is difficult for me, Prabhu, to handle. I'm sorry. Sincerely apologize. That's what else can be done. If you are busy in playing mridanga and someone calls you, there is a festival going on in the hall. You have to play mridanga, and someone calls you, "Aake pocha maro." You can say, "Prabhu, I have this service," but humbly.
पढ़ाई वगैरह भी.
Yes, everything. I have this service allotted to me. I have to complete it. And if you have time, if someone is telling कि कोई बोल रहा है आलू की बोरी है उसको उठा के ऊपर रख दो. If someone is अगर है टाइम तो कर दो. क्या दिक्कत है? सर्विस को थोड़ी मना करना चाहिए. Any other question? Any comments? Any clarifications? Yes.
बता रहे थे आप कि हमको सभी को सुनना चाहिए, लेकिन अगर हम जो भी स्पीकर होता है वो थोड़ा अपने उसके हिसाब से भी बोलते होते हैं. एक फ्लो होता है उनका बोलने का. फॉर एग्जांपल अमोघ लीला प्रभु जिस तरीके से बोलते हैं, मोहन रूपा प्रभु जी जिस तरीके से बोलते हैं, तो अगर हम सबकी सुनेंगे तो कंफ्यूज नहीं हो जाएंगे?
क्यों कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे? बात तो सभी एक ही बोलेंगे, परम विजयते कृष्ण संकीर्तनम. कंफ्यूज क्यों हो जाएंगे? No. This is very wrong mentality to hear from one person. ISKCON is not promoting this, not at any cost. We are just mentors. We are not gurus. You understand? Counselor is not guru. Right. Wherever authorized Bhagavatam classes are going on, we should hear. If you find deviations, then you can avoid. But if you don't find deviations, then you should do. Definitely everyone has understood Sambandha Vidya Prayojan. What is the Prayojan? Krishna Prem. Actually the Prayojan is services. Doing service. If listening, you are hearing a lecture and someone is saying in the lecture, don't serve in the temple, then you should reject that person. Someone is not in line with Prabhupada, then you should reject that person. Otherwise, there is no point of rejecting a person just because he is not your counselor. You understand? You understand? Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, as you told, it is easy to maintain in devotee association, but when we are outside the devotees association, like in an office or others, how we should maintain the same situation?
Yes, so but this question was asked in Navdeep Mandal Parikrama this time. किससे पूछा था? कौन से महाराज से पूछा था ये सवाल? किसी एक डिवोटी ने पूछा नहीं, क्वेश्चन उठा था नवदीप मंडल परिक्रमा में. किन महाराज से पूछा था? I think this question was asked from His Holiness Bhakti Narsingh Vigna Vinashak Maharaj. Bhakti Vigna Vinashak Narsingh Swami. Someone asked this question. So he said, when you go in your offices, when you go in your colleges, don't go to take the association. Go there to give the association. There is a wide difference. Don't get into the nonsense that they are doing. Instead, take some prasadam for them. Serve them prasadam. Tell them something that we are not this body, we are soul. Tell them something about what is life meant for. So in office, don't go for taking the association. Go for giving the association. And constantly keep chanting. Keep a counter in hand and keep chanting. Don't indulge in any nonsense going on around, any politics going on around. Don't indulge in that. If you do that, there is no difference between those materialists and you. Understand?
प्रभु जी, जैसे आपने बताया कि वेदास पढ़ने से, चैतन्य चरितामृत मिलता है कि वेदास पढ़ने से सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन नहीं होता, तो क्या प्रभुपाद बुक्स पढ़ना और वेदास पढ़ना एक ही बात है?
नहीं, कोई अगर ये सोचे कि मैं घर बैठ के प्रभुपाद बुक्स पढ़ लूँ और मैं सेल्फ रियलाइज्ड हो जाऊंगा तो वो इम्पॉसिबल है। प्रभुपाद बुक्स आपको इम्पेटस थ्रो करेगा। प्रभुपाद बुक्स क्या बोलते हैं? एसोसिएट विद डिवोटीज। अब आप इंस्ट्रक्शन ही नहीं फॉलो करोगे तो फिर हाउ विल यू बिकम सेल्फ रियलाइज्ड? प्रभुपाद बुक्स 20 जगह तो बोल रहे हैं एसोसिएट विद डिवोटीज। नहीं नहीं, मैं तो बुक पढ़ के ना सेल्फ रियलाइज्ड हो जाऊंगा। अरे पागल, लिखा तो है एसोसिएट विद डिवोटीज। अब जो इंस्ट्रक्शन है फिर उसको फॉलो तो करो, फिर तो सेल्फ रियलाइज्ड हो। राइट? एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
जैसे आपने कहा था ना कि टेकिंग शेल्टर सेल्फ रियलाइज हो कि अगर आप खुद पे फेथ नहीं दो तो ऐसे किसी पे फेथ रखो जो रियलाइज हो, जिसका फेथ हो। तो प्रभु जी इसमें शेल्टर लेना मतलब दीक्षा लेना होता है सेल्फ रियलाइज?
Obviously in long run it is diksha only, but not now. It's a beginning stage for you. As of now, tell do what your seniors are saying. Okay? Serve in that manner. Someday diksha will also happen, sooner or later. Definitely. We have rules for diksha. 2 years chanting, 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles. Start counting your 2 years from the day. Start counting the 2 years from the day from which you are strictly following 4 regulative principles. Your 2 years countdown starts from that day. And chanting 16 rounds. Your 2 years count, if someday the 4 regulative principle is broken, that means again you have to start the 2 years countdown. So 2-year countdown starts from the day on which you start chanting 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles. Understand? Diksha cannot be done before that. Any other question?
प्रभु जी जैसे आप बताया था ना कि हमें ना सरेंडर करना चाहिए, भगवान को एक्सक्यूज नहीं बनाना चाहिए। प्रभु जी इसमें सरेंडर का मतलब क्या होता है?
Surrender is very simple. Surrender is accepting the authority of seniors. That is surrender. We don't have a direct connection with Krishna as of now. If the words of seniors are in line with Prabhupada, accepting those words, that is surrender. Atmanivedanam. Fully surrendering yourself. Having no other desire other than satisfying Krishna. Anya abhilashita shunyam. No other. Jnana karma adinavritam. No pride of jnana. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam bhakti uttama. Surrendering to Anya abhilashita shunyam. No other desire other than anukul manner mein, in an anukul bhav, serving Krishna. Not pratikul bhav. Anukul bhav, serving Krishna. That is bhakti uttama, uttam bhakti. That is full surrender.
जैसे प्रभु जी अभी बता रहे थे कि कलयुग स्टार्ट हुई ना, तो 500 साल में अभी 9500 साल रहते हैं। तो प्रभु जब हम क्लासेस में बैठते हैं, जैसे कि भागवतम क्लास में बैठते हैं, कोई भी क्लास होती है, तो हम कॉन्शियस हो जाते हैं बात का कि अभी मतलब भक्ति करनी है, कॉन्शियस रहना बहुत कम टाइम बचा है, मतलब फिर कलयुग स्टार्ट हो जाएगा। लेकिन जैसे प्रभु जी भी क्लास खत्म होती है, जैसे जैसे दिन बढ़ता है, टाइम जाता है, फिर भूल जाते हैं इसको।
इसके लिए मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम बहुत स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए। अगर इस चीज़ से बचना है कि दिन ऐसे खराब निकलता है, चैंटिंग इधर उधर देखते हुए करते हैं, साइट सीइंग चैंटिंग। अभी भक्ति प्रियद भागवत महाराज बता रहे थे जब आश्रय कोर्स हमने जब किया, साइट सीइंग चैंटिंग, चारों तरफ देख रहे हैं, चैंट कर रहे हैं। स्पीक एंड हियर ईच एंड एवरी सिलेबल। थोड़े दिन इस तरह से चैंटिंग करके देखो। Once I had done one exercise, आप लोग भी कभी कर सकते हैं जिस दिन टाइम हो। एक बार बहुत पहले ही एक्सरसाइज किया था, चैंटिंग स्टार्ट किया, सुनने का कोशिश किया। अगर हल्का सा भी माइंड इधर उधर जाता था, उस राउंड को वहीं ड्रॉप करता था, फिर शुरू करता था। मैं देखना चाह रहा था कि 16 माला इस तरीके से कितने समय में होती है। तो उस दिन लगभग रात को 12 बजे मेरी चैंटिंग खत्म हुई थी, सुबह 4 बजे शुरू कर दी। उस दिन पूरे दिन फ्री था, कुछ और काम नहीं था, कोई क्लास नहीं थी, कुछ भी नहीं था, बिल्कुल फ्री था। कोविड चल रहा था, लॉकडाउन चल रहा था। मैं सोचा एक्सरसाइज करके देखते हैं। 4 बीट्स बोलता था, फिर छोड़ना पड़ता था, 6 बीट्स बोलता था, फिर छोड़ना पड़ता था। 3 घंटे तो एक माला करने में लगे थे। Improve the quality of chanting, then you go, when you go outside, कुछ नहीं इफेक्ट करने वाला। एक बार 16 माला अगर इस तरह होने लग गई तो मेहनत वाला काम है, मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी इसके पीछे। खत्म करके बस वहां टांग देने से कुछ नहीं होगा। ऑलराइट, हरे कृष्ण। श्री गौर पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव की ग्रंथराज श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। आज शाम को, अब आप लोग फास्ट कर रहे हैं आज सभी,
यस
गौर पूर्णिमा फास्ट, शाम तक निर्जल। कितने लोग निर्जल हैं? विदाउट वाटर। बेटर यू डोंट डू प्रभु, योर हेल्थ विल गेट इफेक्टेड। सर्विसेज कर लो। हाउ मेनी आर डूइंग निर्जल फास्ट टिल इवनिंग? गुड। हाउ मेनी आर डूइंग विद एकादशी फूड? ओके। हाउ मेनी आर नॉट फास्टिंग? खा लिया कुछ? कहाँ पे खा लिया? गुजिया खाएगा। होली है आज, ब्रज में होली है। रसिया, रसिया को नार बनाओ।